change. It's one of the only things in football, and indeed life, that's truly guaranteed. As fans, we get used to ways of thinking about positions on the pitch. A centre-back must be big and muscular, a winger must be fast, a right-back looks like this, and a left-back looks like this. But if you told someone in 2012 that in 10 years, a right-back will be second in the Premier League in terms of big chances created for the season, and a left-back had the most touches out of any player in the league, they would never have believed you. We, myself included, have to change the way we think about things to see the game more clearly. As I always say, it's far more instructive to look at the zone, profile, role and responsibilities of a player to truly see what they can do and how and if they're suited to it. For Arsenal, change is afoot, and it's on our left-hand side. 25-year-old Ukrainian international Oleksandr Zinchenko joins Matt Turner, Marquinhos, Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira as Arsenal make their 5th summer signing. The deals moved quickly after the move for Lisandro Martinez didn't happen, and I've worded it that way intentionally, as I don't know whether Arsenal just didn't want to pay over the odds, or indeed did miss out. Before we move on though, I just need 30 seconds of your time to talk to you about something. As I said last time, I don't accept ad campaigns unless I like and use what I'm about to show you, and I do like this and I do use it. The OneFootball app gives you all the information you need to follow football. News from around the world, fixtures, live scores, stats and updates on the transfer market in pretty much every league you can think of. The best feature to me is the aggregator of transfer news, because you don't have to go looking around the internet on Twitter or Reddit. All of the latest news is put right there in your feed for you. Go and download the OneFootball app for free now. The link is in the description. To get it out of the way early, I don't know if Zinchenko is better than Martinez. Some people say he is, but it's kind of big, didn't fancy her anyway energy. Here's how they compare statistically. Martinez comes out on top, but there is some skewed statistics in terms of league quality. Martinez's aerial win percentage in the Champions League and Europa League knockout stages over the last 4 seasons is 51.5%, which is the 20th percentile, as opposed to the high percentile seen here. Arsenal clearly wanted Martinez, as they reportedly went after him first. He is truly special defensively, and he may have provided cover for other positions on the pitch. Zinchenko will just offer us different dynamics, and in my opinion, he'll add something more in the final third. The more interesting part to me is the ways in which they're similar, which gives us a lot of information in terms of what Arsenal are trying to do with this signing. If we didn't get Zinchenko, I'm convinced we would have gone for a Sergio Gomez, Mikola Matvienko or Caio Henrique. It doesn't matter how we get there, Arsenal were chasing a specific profile this summer, and we've managed to recruit that. So, what is that profile? This is a hunch and a theory, but I think it might be right. Last season, Arsenal looked a little bit like this in possession when everyone was fit. Xhaka pulling back slightly from left 8 allowed Tierney to be in the 5th lane on the outside, bombing on as he likes to do. It's a really nice setup, but it limits you a little in 3 ways. In terms of ball progression on the left-hand side, with lack of progressive profiles behind the ball, you can also be caught in behind on the transition, owing to the space created if you can't quite get back quick enough, and you sacrifice a central creative profile for a fullback profile, which has its benefits, but I prefer the former to the latter. I think in possession next season will look a little bit more like this, roughly. Xhaka and Tierney will be sacrificed for Zinchenko and hopefully a new left 8, completely revolutionising our left-hand side. Zinchenko will invert, creating almost a 2-3-5 shape, or 2-3-2-3. You then get your 2 8s freed up to go further forward, and form the 5 lanes in attack to add more attacking threat than Tierney or Xhaka could. There's an extra man in the midfield who can progress with quality behind the ball and stop transitions, and the players are spread more evenly, defending more zones. To do all that, the player in that left-back zone must be comfortable on the interior. They must be good on the transition, both going forward and backward when inverting, and crucially must be good on the ball and have good ability to progress. And oh my god, his passing is crisp, accurate, well-weighted, and his stats are unreal. When compared to other fullbacks in the top 5 leagues, he's ridiculous. Passes completed, passes attempted, pass completion percentage, total passing distance, progressive passing distance, short passes, medium passes, long passes, key passes, passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, progressive passes, we have to caveat, owing to his game time, it is a slightly small sample size, but come on. In an interview with YouTuber Timsy, Carl Walker is asked about training at Man City and who the most technically gifted players are.
Not in any order. My top 3 are Zinchenko.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Zinchenko, Mahrez, Silva.
Zinchenko I didn't expect.
He's incredible.
Really?
He's incredible. 2 touches, head tennis, you know the tennis what the Brazilians play with the net and you have to,
yeah.
He's incredible.
That's bizarre. I mean,
So
fair
good.
play, yeah.
Yeah, so good.
But frightening prospect.
But then you're
being in
leaving
that
the likes
window.
of De Bruyne out, Phil Foden,
Yeah,
Grealish.
what are you doing?
but they don't come close to them three.
Having grown up playing as an attacking midfielder and playing there for his country, he's really a midfielder playing at fullback, as seen here by his ridiculous passing radar compared to other fullbacks, but it's not really a bad thing if the defensive qualities are there. And if you're that good on the ball, you'll have a positive impact on the team no matter where you play. We need more progression on the left, and there's only really one stat that matters. Zinchenko averaged 8.45 progressive passes per 90 last season, only bettered by Joshua Kimmich, Toni Kroos, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Decent company. Zinchenko can operate in standard positions for a left-back, normal compact 4 in a defensive shape, wide in build-up or with chalk on his boots in the final third, getting beyond, more on that later. But where he really comes alive and shows his worth is in the central zones, and his ability to invert and receive in lane 2, this one. These are not normal positions for a nominal left-back to be picked up in regularly. So, how does it help? Where a Nuno Tavares might get the ball and drive in field, Zinchenko's style is to use his intelligent off-the-ball movement to create overloads and options in more advantageous zones. An example here against Real Madrid, De Bruyne's options are limited and he's being pushed back. Zinchenko moves into a very aggressive position beyond the attacking midfielders in the second lane, receives the ball and City can play forward. This isn't something you see many left-backs comfortable doing, especially at Arsenal, and what's impressive is the regularity with which he does it, due to his technical quality. Another example here, Zinchenko picks up the ball in lane 2 and plays a wall pass off Grealish. Zinchenko gets it back and nearly plays Jesus in, all from an intelligent inside run. Occupying this space has a knock-on effect too. I love Martinelli's out-to-in runs from the left, and someone moving into lane 2 means he can hug the touchline and run defences into the ground. The ability to come inside and be comfortable there adds attacking value and more imperceptible overloads in central areas, creating more triangles and angles for the likes of Silva, Gundogan and De Bruyne to play off. But it also means you can hem people in. City ask their fullbacks to tuck in to form almost a semicircle around the opponent as they attempt to break down a low block, but also ask that the fullbacks are the first to step in and stop a transition, as seen here, low on his toes, ready to jump in. Here he stops Sporting getting forward, keeping City high with a great bit of front-footed defending, which Arteta will love. So, getting beyond. Zinchenko offers you a lot going forward. He progresses the ball superbly, his goal and shot creating actions are off the charts, and he's in the 99th percentile for assists from fullback. Indeed, when compared to probably the best creative fullback in the world, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he doesn't shape up too badly. A delicious ball into the box for Ukraine in the Euros shows he has a great whip too, which is underrated about his game. One of my favourite things he does is this switch out to Mahrez. It's extraordinary technique to constantly repeat it. Just a few examples here, but you can imagine the ball's out to Saka on the right hand side. Just another way of getting us forward. From what we'll need from a left back in the system I think we're looking to use, Zinchenko ticks all the boxes. So that's all great. But I do have a few concerns about Zinchenko from the defensive side of things. I saw him caught out in the transition a number of times on Wyscout, as seen here. Apologies for the poor quality. Luckily we have more recovery pace these days in White, Saliba and Gabriel, and often Zinchenko's aggressive position will be able to stop that counter-attack, as seen earlier, keeping Arsenal high up the pitch. But it could hurt us. His defensive numbers are not good. Have a look at this. Interceptions, pressures and actions are way down. You can of course caveat that he plays in a Man City team that have something like 114% of the ball every game, but it is still a concern. I don't mind his tackling technique though, upright and clean for the most part from what I've seen. He is more one-footed than other Arteta-style fullbacks. FBref have him at 91% left-footed. Zinchenko grew up in eastern Ukraine. He enjoyed an exciting development, captaining Shakhtar Donetsk at youth level, even scoring against the Manchester United team containing Andreas Pereira in 2013. However, at just 18 years old, he had to flee Ukraine with his family due to the war in Donbass. He was still under contract with Shakhtar but couldn't go back owing to security reasons, so he had to train on his own in Moscow on concrete pitches. Eventually, he signed for Russian club Ufa, going on to become one of the first signings of the Pep Guardiola era at Manchester City. He made his debut for Ukraine's national team in 2015, became their youngest ever goalscorer in 2016, and was made Ukraine's youngest ever captain in 2021. With the war going on in Ukraine, it's incredible he's managed to remain so focused towards the end of this season. He even delivered the assist in City's final game of the season to get their equaliser. In an interview with Gary Lineker early on in the year, talking about the most recent Ukrainian conflict, we saw a truly human side of Zinchenko. Sensitive, mature and emotional, he spoke with startling clarity. This is a man who knows there's more to life than football and is at an age where his experience is starting to show. To be where he is, considering the difficult experiences he's had in life, including being without a club at some points, just shows you the type of character we're getting. As captain of the Ukraine national team, he joins a growing team of leaders at Arsenal. Odegaard, Sambi, Xhaka, Vieira and now Zinchenko have all captained their sides at various stages. Creating a culture is brick by brick work. Let's be clear here. Some people think we're signing a backup left back. We are not. When compared to Arsenal's current options there, Zinchenko absolutely wipes the floor with them in terms of tackles, interceptions, chances created and dribbles. Immediately he's compared to Tierney, which is understandable, but they will literally be asked to do different things on the pitch, as they have different strengths. Tierney hugs the touchline, is better in 1v1s, has more of an engine and gets to the byline. Not Zinchenko's game. It's apples to oranges. I'd love both of them to stay. I think Zinchenko is the better fit for Arteta's system. I've said many times before, I don't think Tierney's right for us long term, but it's great to have two good quality options. Let's not be afraid of that. Zinchenko has played some big games for Man City. He started the UEFA Champions League final against Chelsea, benching Cancelo and Mendy, but he's never quite had a run in the team, despite there being a lot of opportunities to do so, with injuries and losses of form from other teammates. Since returning from his loan spell at PSV Eindhoven in 2017, he's played just over 25 games on average every season, with only one significant injury in that time, during the 19-20 season. It's not enough, and with the Premier League medals hanging around his neck, he will be hungry for more. There's a theme with all of these Arteta signings. There's no more Jenkinsons, Mustafis and Kolasinac's. We're looking at proper technicians with excellent turning circles. Players who can receive it, move into different zones and facilitate progression and play. Vieira, Jesus, Zinchenko. The interest in Zinchenko has been long-standing too. Arteta was supposedly interested back in the summer of 2020. At that point, I think he may well have played in midfield in a double pivot. Now with the players we have around him, I don't think he'll have to. We may be becoming City light, but if we can win half as much as they have the last 5 years, I don't care. By the way, we all owe Fernandinho a pint. He went to Brazil to convince Jesus to sign for City, and Zinchenko credits his move from Shakhtar as inspiring him to go to England. I have concerns, but no transfer is a sure thing. In theory, Zinchenko is another top addition for us tactically, and another player with a point to prove. I'll leave you with this. Zinchenko once made a rap music video. It's gold, go watch it. And I promise you, if we win the league with him in an Arsenal shirt, I will recreate every single moment of it. Speaking of Arsenal shirts, maybe Zinchenko can lend me his.
Thank you so much for watching The Different Knock. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please consider supporting us on Patreon monthly or head to buymeacoffee.com for one-time support. You can find me at AMOnFootball on Twitter and we're at DiffKnock on all social media. Also, check out our podcast. All the links are in the video description. Thanks.